Welcome to Phillip Island for round 4 of the V8 Touring Car Series. The battle at the top is tight, it's tough. 60 points separates leader Ryan Simpson from contender Justin Rougier. Rougier, though, has been challenging. Queensland, he was phenomenal. And this weekend, he'll be aided by former V8 Supercar ace Cam McConville. It is so good to have you back. We've missed you. It's been about 2 years. What's the plan for Eggleston Motorsport this weekend?
Yeah, well, maybe there's rumours I've been drafted in to help young Justin there with the championship, but so that's probably a little bit true. But no, look, it's I've had a long association with Eggleston Motorsport. I drove for them in the Dunlop Series for a couple of rounds, and Ben and Rachel are just great people. And I happen to be down here running Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge, so they said, hey, do you want to jump in? We've rebuilt a VZ, which I've driven before a long time ago, so I said, why not? It's nice to dust the cobwebs off the race suit.
Absolutely, and we've missed your racing. How have you found giving up the driver duties?
It's very, very hard, let me tell you. You do miss it a lot, but since I've gone to the other side of the fence, you know, in category management, that's a new challenge, presents its own challenges in a way, but I actually haven't really raced for about 18 months, 2 years, so this will be the first time, so don't watch too closely in case I get it all wrong.
Ryan Simpson has conceded just 3 races from 21 since he debuted last year. If anyone can beat him, it's the man next to me.
It's a beautiful place, Phillip Island, and the weather has turned it on as well for the Shannon's Australian Motor Racing Nationals and round 4 of the Kumho Tyres V8 Touring Car Series. This really is a great place to go motor racing. I'm alongside Tony D'Alberto for this, fresh from a pretty solid run at the Sandown 500. The kids are out in force today, the fans are, and so are the V8s. This should be an interesting round. This is a key round. This is the round where they've got to beat Ryan Simpson.
Absolutely, I think it's the best opportunity. You know, some of these guys have been testing before the event, so it's going to be a close one.
Here are the points coming into it. Ryan Simpson leads the way, a comfortable margin over Justin Rougier. Race 1 was held on Saturday afternoon in good conditions at the Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit, overcast and cool, but it got underway quite nicely. Steve Briffa started from the second row of the grid. Ryan Simpson and Cameron McConville in front, Justin Rougier alongside. TD, not the best start for Briffa, and that allowed the 3 fast guys in the field to get away.
No, he got a little bit of wheel spin there off the line and just got swamped a little bit there, but he's back in the fight here. You know, it's such a long race that he can actually claw his way back through the field.
So that's how the race began. McConville grabbed an early lead and would hold out Ryan Simpson. We'll show you more from Briffa in just a second. In the meantime, let's hear from the race 1 winner. He's back. Here's Cam McConville.
To be honest, Cam, it's a result we expected, but actually the cobwebs, did it go to plan? I mean, where were the rusty parts?
The start was actually quite average. I'm just glad Ryan made a worse muck of it than I did. It actually wasn't how I thought I would win. I thought Ryan would drive away because he's a very good driver and a good car is in there. But look, the Eggleston Commodore, I can tell you, it's actually hooked up quite well in the race. In fact, as the laps went on, it actually got better and better. So, yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Now this is why we're watching Steve Briffa's on board. Have a look and listen to this. That is a very, very big spin at turn 6 at Siberia. Briffa turned around after contact with Matt Charter. It was declared a racing incident, but Briff was none too pleased.
Look, it was lap 1 and it was pretty much a nice flow through the first couple of corners. We got down to, I think, turn 6 and I got rubbed on the backside and got turned around, and it was a very scary moment. It was at 160k and it was not pleasant. I was watching the wall and the whole car was pirouetting towards the wall. It wasn't pretty. It was pretty scary.
Race 2 Sunday morning highlights now, and this time Tony D'Alberto, Cam McConville got a good start.
He got a ripper start and improved upon what was probably not a great start in the first one there, but he got to the lead, and so did Rougier. Got past Simpson, which is exactly what he needs to do.
Fought the car hard through turn 1. The action started a little bit further back. Matt Charter sailed around the outside of John Pagodas. Car all loaded up, really light touch, and was turned around, and some cars took serious evasive action from that.
Yeah, we saw Briffa in the sand trap again, and unfortunately we've seen that a couple of times this weekend already, but not too much damage for the cars involved.
There was a brief safety car period and the race was reset. McConville led away from the restart, but the real focus, Tony, was this fight for second place with Simpson and Rougier.
Yeah, these guys obviously going for the championship, and first time that we've seen Rugia to basically hold off Simpson. So he did a great job in this race, and although he didn't get the race win, it would feel like a win for him.
It was an important moment in the Kumho series to get in front of Ryan Simpson, but out in front it was all Cam McConville, a second victory, and a 1-2 for the team as well. Cars rolling out for race 3 of the Kumho Tyres V8 Touring Car Series here at Phillip Island. 1-2 for Eggleston Motorsport, their first in Kumho V8s, and for the first time Justin Rugia beat Ryan Simpson, who's not leaving pit lane. The Parramatta Smash Repairs car is stuck at the exit of pit lane at Phillip Island, and he's going to the back of the garages, so he's not going to take part in this race, TD. Now we're getting word through from race control, some indication this could be down to the noise restrictions at this place. He was due to start from second place. We understand he's been told that he cannot take the start of this race due to the noise restrictions and having broken them. Speaking of braking, Briffa broke the start there a little bit, rolled a long way before they went green. So we'll follow that up for you. No Ryan Simpson. 2 Eggleston cars get a clean run down into turn 1, and it's McConville leading Rugia as it was in race 2. But wow, that's dramatic stuff at the start of this one.
Yeah, that's such a shame if that's the case. You know, we want to see this championship fought out all the way to the end, and to get done on a little technicality like that is a shame. A lot of cars have been looked at over the weekend, and it's interesting why it suddenly came up this weekend.
We'll get some more information for you as the race goes on. Meanwhile, big moment from Charter on the exit of the Southern Loop, and had a big slide. Meanwhile, Briffa down the inside of John Pagodas at turn 4 gets it done. Palmer's running 3rd in this one now, so good start from the STR truck bodies forward. The 2 Eggleston cars look like they're about to clear out in front of this race, but the battle's on for the minors.
Absolutely, the Eggleston Motorsport cars there, they've really got no competition now. They're going to clear out, and the battle for 3rd place is where it's all going to be. So Briffa's on a bit of a charge like normal. We just don't want to see any onboard of him spinning around, so we want to see him come through the field and see where he can finish.
Yeah, he was pretty fired up after race 1 yesterday after the dramas, and about the same after race 2 this morning, the Poco Commodore. Charter with a really good move, under brakes, got it stopped and turned into an MG. Palmer will fight back on the outside, and Briffa will buy himself into this as well. Good squabbling on the opening laps, but Palmer is the man on the move. He's picking them off one by one.
Yeah, it's going to be good racing, like I said. That 3rd position is up for grabs, and any of these guys can grab that position. Be interesting to see how Eggleston Motorsport play this. Cam's winning the race, but could be a great points haul for Rugia if he can get a win.
Briffa back down the inside, turn 1.
That's a very committed move there, and he did it with absolute ease, so well done.
And I've got a feeling they're going to have a jump start penalty hanging over their heads, because that car did move well before the lights went out, and it moved quite a way. So at the very least, it's going to be a 5-second penalty, if not a drive-through. And that'll be a shame for Briff, because he's got good car speed, but the luck is not with him this weekend.
He's in the wars. I don't know what he's done, but if that's the case, what a shame.
He'll be removing all the black cats and ladders and everything from his workshop after this race, and try and turn the luck around for Wakefield Park. Charter, meanwhile, 3rd place with the funky headlights on the ex-Brytec Falcon. And he's been good. Here's...
Here we go.
Oh, yeah, wow.
Big jump, big jump. But he did come to a complete stop, so they might have a look at that and think, well, you know, he didn't get an advantage out of it. Yes, he made a mistake, but he came to a complete stop and ended up losing positions off the start. So potentially, there's no gain there.
Matt Charter in pit lane now in the AFDC number 18 Falcon. We go back on board with McConville working hard, and by race 3, of course, the Kumho tyres have done plenty of work over the weekend. McConville got an extra 2 tyres by being a first-time driver in the series, so that will be an advantage to him. But even so, by the end of the weekend, your tyres are past their best, and you start having to drive the car a little bit harder. Palmer and Vagotis are having a really good scrap for the minors in this one. Over Lukey Heights and down into MG they go.
I think Cam should have got 2 less tyres. He's got way more experience than anybody else.
So a sliding scale, experience versus tyres?
Absolutely. It's a bit unfair.
So if you came into the series, you'd just get 4 really old Kumhos that have been done 1,000 laps perhaps? Is that
I don't know about that. No, I think Cam's got a few more laps under his belt than me.
and Briffa, and this is a pit lane drive-through penalty. So race control clearly felt that that jump start was too much, and Matt Charter in there as well. So put yourself in JV's shoes here in this little battle we've got going on with Matt Palmer. Where do you pass? Where's the best place to set up the driver? I get the impression Phillip Island's a circuit where you can set them up a couple of corners back and then plan that move a long time out.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a little bit more speed than Palmer, so he'll be setting himself up, just sort of having a look where Palmer's struggling, and potentially have a dive bomb down into either Honda or MG. Maybe if he can get a good run the straight here, he can actually slingshot past him into turn 1.
This car debuted way back in 2003 by Brad Jones Racing, the Aussie male Ford. So run by Brad Jones a long time, raced by the fantastic Scottish driver Johnny Cleland in the Enduros for BJR as well. A great character of our sport, and one of the favourite imports in V8 racing over the years. It's a car with a huge amount of history. It's been raced by Jason Bright over the time and restored to the period livery by John Vigotis.
You can just see how John can actually be a lot tighter on his lines and on the exit of all the corners, whereas Palmer is having to use all the road to try and keep up the speed, and generally that's an indication it doesn't have the tire grip available to him.
These two cars basically identical in the day, because the car Matt Palmer is running originally ran in the black and green livery for BJR and driven by John Bow back in the day. So a bit of a testament to Brad Jones Racing. Their cars are still even 11 years down the road.
Yeah, it's a lot of miles in the cars there, but these guys are really going at it, and I reckon Vigotis is going to have him here.
Up over Lukey Heights. Awesome place to watch cars race. If you ever get the opportunity to go to this place, go and stand right on the top of the exit of Lukey Heights and watch the cars bombing over the top. They carry so much car speed, and in one of these cars as well, you're trying to get the thing stopped and rotated into MG at the same time. So there's a lot going on there. Yeah,
you come over the crest there, it's very light, and trying to stop the car, you generally get a little bit of rear locking and sometimes a bit of front lock as soon as you turn the car to the corner with these big, heavy vehicles. But Palmer's actually doing a very good job of covering his line there. So just seeing the front two here, and Rouge's actually caught up to McConville, so that's good for him to actually be chasing down such a champion driver like McConville.
Well, Rouge before this weekend did some test days here at Phillip Island, but they were all in torrential rain, so had no dry running. Probably explain why he was super quick on Friday, practicing the wet as well. But his first real serious dry running on any sort of good condition tyres was in qualifying, so really difficult to come into a dry track because this place must change so much wet to dry.
Yeah, it's just commitment levels, and you don't want to overstep that. It can easily go wrong for you, but he's definitely catching Cameron here. And we actually saw Rouge in the wet at Winton very, very quick as well. So he might be suited to the wet conditions, might enjoy driving in them. And the Eccleston boys might have those cars set up really well for those sort of conditions. So tricky for him to come here in the dry. First time here, especially against guys with a lot more experience.
We understand, and I'm not sure if this is, well, we just pulled it out during the race or not, but we understand that McConville doesn't have a working radio at this point of time. So I think the old team orders thing might be a bit hard to manage at the moment if they can't talk to the guy in front. But here's the ring-in for the one weekend. I wonder if he might just sneakily let Rougia, who's fighting for a championship, get the maximum points down to turn 2 as they start the final lap. What a performance it's been by Cam McConville. Rougia, though, has driven really well, and in this race has matched him lap for lap and really kept that pressure on.
Absolutely, and we saw Cameron get away a little bit at the start, but as the race has gone on, the tyres have gone away. I think Rougia's got that little advantage here, but I think...
He's cruising, McConville.
I think there's a bit more to it.
Rougia slips down the inside. Well, good sporting move by McConville. You can hear him short shift through the sweeper at turn 3, and Rougia grabs the lead. And I think he'll know in the back of his mind, he's a smart guy, Cam McConville, that he'll still win the round if he finishes second. Have a look at this. Vigotis and Palmer still side by side.
What a great battle. These guys are going hard at it for P3. And I think we should try and stay with these guys, see who's going to get it.
Nothing stage managed about this at all, is there? And Vigotis has just applied the blowtorch to the back of the STR truck bodies for the whole way through. How's this formation flying? No controversy between teammates here like there is in F1 with the Mercedes guys. It's all nice, smooth sailing for Eggleston Motorsport. It's going to be a big round victory. And Cam McConville, how's the stat? He'll be the only driver to have won in all 3 divisions of V8 racing in Australia. And Justin Ruggier finally gets a breakthrough victory in the Kumho V8 Touring Car Series. McConville wins the round. It's a 1-2 for Eggleston Motorsport. Big weekend for that team. And Matt Palmer's got to hold out John Vigotis in the battle of the day.
That was great driving from Matty Palmer. I don't think he had the car to do it, but he held his line and got it done, so congratulations.
A championship-changing moment, perhaps, as we confirm the race 3 results. Ruggier wins from McConville. McConville wins the round, with Matt Palmer getting a fantastic podium in 3rd, with Vigotis and Briffa next.
Yeah, look, race 2 was you know, on for it, and it was fair and square. I mean, look, race 3, I honestly don't know what happened to him and why he didn't front on the grid, but it's unfortunate. I've been on that side of the fence plenty of times before in different categories, so I know how it feels. It's not the best, but look, fantastic for the team. Excellent result. We'll go into Wakefield Park now. That a lot of push now to keep going on the flight that we need to go on, and thankful that Cameron McConville come on board too to teach me so much in such a short period of time. Fantastic driver, and grateful to the team too.
Well, it was an up and down weekend for Steve Briffa. He sits 4th in the Kumho Series standings after 4 rounds. Simpson leads it, but check the margin. 3 points now between himself and Justin Ruggier going into the next round at Wakefield Park Raceway in Goulburn. Matt Palmer up to 3rd and having a sensational season in the 48 Cup. On behalf of Tony D'Alberto, Gary Bryan and the Shannon's Nationals team, thanks for watching. There's more action next week from Phillip Island. We hope to see you then.